Hi, welcome to Infusion, the podcast. I'm comedian Chris Patrick, a.k.a. self-proclaimed Power Man. And I'm here with my co-host and significant other, Rach.
Hey, guys.
And today we got, this is going to be an interesting show. I'm kind of excited. We got, she is a psychic medium and a certified tarot master. I think we're talking tarot cards. We got Corby Mitlide, and she's calling in from upstate New York. Kobe, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
So, can you tell us a little bit about what you do? A psychic medium and a certified tarot master.
Right. Okay. This is something that I do full time. Been reading since I was 18. I'm 66.
Okay.
A certified tarot master is just how long I've been reading these puppies. I'm also a certified professional tarot reader, and that was a full exam, learning spreads, writing a code of ethics, that sort of thing. I am a past life specialist. Okay. I was one of the 4 channels in Robert Schwartz's books on pre-birth planning and life between lives, and just your standard psychic medium. But we're not dial-a-dead. If Aunt Rose is on a field trip, she won't put down the phone.
Okay, so you've been reading. So how does one get into tarot reading? I mean, you said you've been doing it since you were 18. How did you get into it? I mean, you just buy some cards and then...
Oh hell, hon. It was 1973. We were all hippies. Okay. That was senior year in high school. I was working part-time at Spencer Gifts. That was the year Live and Let Die came out. So Spencer's had the James Bond 007 tarot deck.
Okay, you're talking...
Jane Seymour is Solitaire?
Okay, you're talking my language. Jane Seymour was the in Live and Let Die. We had Roger Moore and Yaphet Kotto, and Jane Seymour was his tarot reader that was telling him certain things and what he was doing as the villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and so of course Spencer Gifts very much into what was going on. Mm-hmm. And I bought the deck, and it was great fun. I loved the stories, and 5 years later, everyone else went on to roller skates and disco balls. I stuck with reading.
Right. Okay. And the only reason why I wanted to do it in October is, it's the whole spiritual thing, and, I do my daily flip of a card through the app of Mystic. And, I wanted people to understand, it's not something that you have to do during the Halloween month, or, you don't have to do it during a spiritual thing or tarot reading or anything like that. Absolutely go to your tarot mentor, but you don't have to be afraid of the cards and what they're telling you and stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to bring you on to explain to people what the cards are about and stuff like that.
The cards are ink on paper.
Yeah.
It is what people put on them. That is, are they useful or are they scary wiki-woo?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tarot has been around for hundreds of years, so there's a formula. Okay. 78 cards, 22 majors, 4 sleeps. But the cards can mean different things. Yeah. It's not just what they say in the book. For instance, everybody sees the death card, and if you don't explain it to them, they think it means they're going to be hit by a bus on Tuesday.
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
The death card is death of an old way of life, death of what you've outgrown, death of what was never you in the first place. It's transition. Mm-hmm. Another card is the tower. It's a burning tower, and it's falling apart, and people are falling off it, and people think, oh, God, my life is going to cut out. No.
Yeah.
What I do is I say, think of it as the imploding sports stadium. Red Sox want to build a new stadium. They got to blow up Fenway first and clear the ground.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tower card says you're going to have to get rid of a lot of things that are keeping you from going where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And, the devil card is not Mr. Horns in the Tail. It is not Jack Nicholson from The Witches of Eastwick.
Yep.
It's being bedeviled by something, someone, or some situation.
Yep.
Simple as that.
So how long, well, you said you've been reading since you were 18. So, when you started reading, you still got that original deck? Because I know some people read so many decks and then they get a new deck. How long before it takes you to get a new deck, or do you just keep?
I have to get a new deck every year because as a full-time intuitive consultant, I read about 1,000 people a year, and brand new deck in January wants to be put out to pasture around Christmas. So
Okay.
that's what that is. But I also have about 8 or 9 different oracle decks that I will pull into the reading to give a different nuance, a different flavor, and they last me a lot longer. But my original deck it's actually still around, but instead of the James Bond 007 Tarot deck, it's called Tarot of the Witches.
Okay.
The deck I use now is by a buddy of mine, Eric Dunn, and it's called the Tarot Illuminati, and it's the top-selling deck in the world, has been since he released it in 2013.
Okay, the Tarot Illuminati. Now, Illuminati, that's kind of like a secret society.
But also it can mean the illuminated.
Okay.
The thing that I love about this deck, besides its artwork is breathtaking, is the 4 suits are 4 different cultures. He uses Middle Eastern for wands, he uses Scandinavian for cups, he uses Tudor England for swords, and he uses Asian for pentacles. So it's easy to know exactly which card is coming up at any one time. And there's so much detail that if you're a good reader, you'll pull what you need from the card specific to each client.
Okay, now you say you're a reader. Now one of the things, and not knocking your profession, but sometimes we see on the boardwalks and at fairs and stuff like that, we see people with the little tent and all that. Oh, come on in, and they read the cards, and they know how to ask the right questions per se to kind of get you going, and then they say, "Oh, I'm done," and then it's a way to get more.
That's called a cold reading, my darling.
Okay.
Now, there are good intuitives and there are shysters. That's why I wrote my book, The Psychic Yellow Brick Road: How to Find the Real Wizards and Avoid the Flying Monkeys. Now, there are certain questions which can be asked, which just help illuminate. For instance, if you came to me and said, okay, I want to know about my career, I'd say, great, 3 ways we can go. Stay where you are, change jobs, or open your own place.
Right.
Why am I asking that? Because each one of those segments has a different multi-card spread.
Yep.
If you said, want to open up my own, vinyl store, still love vinyl, it would not be 4 cards, 3, and then fire the redhead. No. Yeah. It's a card for you, a card for the energy around the business, the brick and mortar location, how to market it, clients, competition, staff, finances, what you need to know, and best possible outcome. Yeah. Now, that puts a rocket pack on your back and empowers you, because that's what the best readers will do. They will not necessarily do yes or no's. If you said, is my new vinyl business going to be successful? I would look at you and say, and what if I said no? And you're going to lose everything and live in a box under a bridge. Wrong question. Because when you do that, then you do get the Madam Hoo-Ha's and the Swami Swalanis who go, oh, you have a family card. How many in your family? 4? You have dogs? $50 every family member, 25 per dog. He's small, we see. Crap.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And I have seen that.
Yep.
Literally, at a show I did in Toronto, Ontario, there were 250 booths. And so some of them were going to be shysters. And this fake gypsy had told a woman that we all had to go take care of because she was crying hysterically, that if she didn't burn 400 specially blessed candles in the Roman Catholic Church, I bless real good, only $1 candle. Her entire family was going to die in a car accident. That's what you watch out for. Yeah. That's how I educate people to stay safe.
Okay, well, as far as educating, how do you determine the shysters from the real?
Well, for one thing, you know for sure when they're doing the. You can do a 3-card flip, but it's generally a standard 3-card flip. 3-card flip will definitely tell you,
That's an easy way of doing it. Yeah. But it's not always past, present, and future. In fact, there's an article on my website, the different ways you can use 3 cards for a situation. If you are in a situation where I'm not sure what I should pay for this new house. We do a low price, a high price, and the best compromise, things like that.
Right.
But when people need to know how to find a good psychic, I actually have given them 7 keys. And if you look at the first letters, they all stand for psychic. Professionalism, sharing references.
Yep.
You're in control of your own destiny. Charges. Here I can fix anything for a price. Stories. Inappropriate actions and connections. That's the first chapter in my book, because I don't care if you never come to me after reading that book. There are too many books out there that say, this is what good psychic stuff is like, and I'm the only reader you should go to.
Right.
If this book helps you stay safe anywhere with any reader, I did my job, because all boats rise.
Yeah.
You have a bad reading with a psychic, all of us get tired.
Yeah.
So let's make all of us good ones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I've noticed like, and I've seen them like in, like I said, fairs and stuff like that, and they know how to ask like the right questions. Like, are you planning a trip? Oh yeah, I am, okay, I got it. But then they know how to ask the right questions to take, to take it further, take it. Oh, well, I see this, this, okay, we're done. Well, here, give me 5. Tell you what, give me $5 more, like, or give me 10 more bucks.
That's such bull. I mean, when you sit down with me, I admit the first thing that I will say to you is, what's the most important thing you want to get out of your knowing today? Because even if you're sitting with me for half an hour and I'm fast, if what you want to know about is your second kid is having trouble deciding which college to go to, I might not get to that in half an hour. And then you say, oh, she didn't tell me anything I needed. So, for instance, if your kid says, I don't know what college to go to, I go, great. Where have you applied? Okay. Ohio State, Lehigh, Georgia Tech, Yale, and Stanford. I wouldn't say which one, but I would pull a card for all 5 and say, okay, here you would probably change your major. Here I think you could finish in 3 years. This place looks like you'd have a great time as a foreign exchange student. This is the place that you're going to want to do a double major. And this place you may get the education, but I'm not sure you're going to be happy there. Notice I'm not telling them what to do.
Right.
It could be that the foreign trip is more important than the double major, so they lean that way. And that's appropriate for their free will.
Yeah.
So how do you become a certified tarot master?
Okay. We'll start with the other one. The certified professional tarot reader was through the Tarot Certification Board of America, which unfortunately is no longer around. But it was not just, can you read all 78 cards? It was, can you design your own spreads for a given question? Do you have a code of ethics? How can you help a client reword a question to get them the answer they really want instead of the one that's going to send them off on a tangent? Certified Tarot Master. Part of that is longevity. Part of it is, do you teach? Part of it is, have you written books? Things like that. It's like the Kennedy Center honors. You don't go and apply for it, but you can earn it because of what you've done with your career.
So you say you're also what is that, a psychic medium? Yeah,
psychic medium is kind of an overall thing. I mean, we're all psychics.
Yeah.
The way I explain it is, look, we all have 10 fingers. We can all play chopsticks. Some of us really want to learn to play well, so we study, we do our scales, and so we get pretty good. And then 1 in 10 million is Elton John. Okay? I'm not saying I'm Elton John, but I have spent a long time practicing and getting good. So that's the whole thing. Everybody can do what I do. I'm not special. Right. In fact, I lost a reality show contract because they wanted me to say how special I was and nobody could do what I do, blah, blah, blah. I said, but that's not what I teach. I won't lie.
Right.
And they went to find somebody else that, would be the good trick puppy that they wanted. Okay.
So the reality, can you say what the reality show was, or?
Absolutely not, because that would diss the psychic that's on there. And that's part of my ethics. Unless I know that somebody is really scamming you, I won't say anything bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Some cards are starting to pair other cards like moons and crystals. Is there power in that? Is there not power in that? What is your take on that?
There's power in kitchen equipment if you really want to put your energy into it.
Okay.
People match up tarot cards with numerology,
Mm-hmm.
with crystals, with flower essences, with astrology. There are all kinds of ways to do that. That deep dish analytical, I haven't gotten
Okay.
because I prefer going in and simply doing the what I call the channeling. Yes, I know the meaning of all the cards,
Right.
but they don't always mean that.
Mm-hmm.
Example, there's a card, the Three of Pentacles.
Yep.
That is a stained glass window with someone working on the wall. It talks about mastery and long term. Looks like a church. When I read for a couple, I looked at that card and what came out of my mouth is there's a deconsecrated or abandoned church within about 5 miles, and that's where you need to open up a cafe bakery. And I'm thinking, what's coming out of the mouth? And they look at each other and look at me and go, oh, yeah, we know. We've been arguing about it for 2 years. Okay. That's their guide tapping me on the shoulder and saying, will you please hit them upside the head with glue?
Yep.
Okay.
So did they end up opening the bakery?
I have no idea.
Right.
Because, I go to town, I do these psychic expos, I read for people, and they're not necessarily going to call me, especially if they're in Canada and I'm here in New York.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So did my job. That's all I can do.
Yep.
If I'm really worried about was I right, that's ego. And ego gets in the way of being a good reader.
Yep.
So what you said as far as death, like when people die, I mean, what is there a soul? Like I've heard like things about ghosts and stuff like that. People saying
so you're going into the psychic now instead of the tarot. Okay, I just want people that are listening to follow.
Oh yeah.
All right. Don't ever let a medium tell you that someone is disappointed in you or their spirit is stuck here on earth or that's crap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is when we die, we go upstairs, basically we sign the guest register, unpack our bags, and get the orientation tour. There is no hell. Mm-hmm. Hell is when you're doing your life review. Very much like Defending Your Life, the old movie with Meryl Streep and Albert Brooks. Mm-hmm. When you see all the good things you did, you feel the same joy and gratitude, etc., as if it was done for you. Mm-hmm. When you see all of the nasty, lousy things you did, you feel the pain, the grief, the disappointment, the anger, as if that was done to you. And that's hell. Mm-hmm. But when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Can people come back down here? Of course. Our souls are huge, but it doesn't mean they're stuck. Mm-hmm. For instance, my father was a fabulous internist cardiologist. He was my best friend. He died 20 years ago this past Saturday. He still comes down when I do medical intuitive work, especially if it's cardiac related. Mm. And it doesn't mean that he's stuck here. It means that he's peeking over the balcony and throwing paper airplanes. Yo, how'd that go?
So more like a guide or whatever. Because I've always felt that the heaven and hell thing. I always thought that was kind of like man-made and kind of and I'm not
sure it is.
I'm not trying
it's man-made so the church can control the sheep.
Yeah, and exactly. And what I was trying to say is that I'm not trying to diss anybody's religion. I'm always one of those people that, hey, if that's what you believe and that works for you, then hey, great. But I'm just saying that a lot of it, like you said, it was a lot to control people to go, oh, you got to come here, you got to do this, you got to do this. Otherwise, when you die, you'll go to hell. You'll go to this place called hell and stuff like that. And you got to be good when you're on earth and stuff like that.
No. No. God, trust me, in whatever shape it is way too big to worry about, were we good or bad? That's only for our lessons.
Yeah.
It would be the equivalent of you looking at an ant and judging its actions by which way it lifted its left foreleg. Mm-hmm. You don't care.
Yeah.
The ant will learn what the ant will learn.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So what do you have to say as far as living your life as far as living your life and projecting and trying to have positive energy around you?
The only thing that really matters is what did we do for ourselves and for others while we were down here? Mm-hmm. It really does. A perfect example, someone who just died a couple of days ago. Her name is Mary, and she ran the Magnificat Cat Rescue and Rehoming Group in the Bronx. The number of cats that she saved, the kindness that she bestowed on so many people, friends and strangers alike, the tireless work she did. No one's going to be able to replace her. So the rescue she started has closed down. But her work will go on because there are so many people who are inspired by what Mary did.
Sure.
That there will always be a feeling among those hundreds of people when they see an orange cat, because her favorites were orange cats, they'll want to rescue the orange cat.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. So that's what matters. What you leave behind.
Mm-hmm. What about as far as, like I said, is having positive energy and trying to live with positive energy?
Well, there's that, but there's Glurpy Purple with angels. Don't do that. Glurpy Purple with angels is, hi, love and light. Oh, everything is perfect. And all you have to do is think happy thoughts. Bullshit. Sorry. There are dualities. We all have shadow sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay? We come down here. I mean, look at carrot and stick. Karma, which is incorrect. Bad karma, good karma. No.
Yeah.
Karma is 5 things. Karma is unbalanced energy, healing service, contrast, and healing of belief. The people who do the love and light thing might look at Ryan White, who died of AIDS in 1990, and say, what a shame. He didn't have good karma. But next time, maybe. No, not true. The way I understand it, because of the work I did with Robert Schwartz, Ryan's soul said, let me come down with a short life and this disease. I think I can make changes. What happened? Go back to my favorite example. He became friends with Elton John. At that point, Elton John was drinking and drugging and ruining himself to a short death.
Mm-hmm.
But Elton was so moved by the courage and love in Ryan's family that he kind of adopted them.
Mm-hmm.
Played at Ryan's funeral when Ryan died, was so moved by Ryan that that's when Elton got clean and sober and has been that way for over 30 years, and created the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has now raised over $500 million for HIV and AIDS research and assistance worldwide. Because of Ryan White. So you don't tell me he had bad karma because he got AIDS. That was a courageous soul who said, deal me the bad hand if it can make that much good later on.
Right. You know, you have been a very powerful source on this podcast. I really want to thank you for everything that you've educated us on the psyche and the tarot cards. For people that want to know more about the tarot cards, what would they do to enlighten themselves in education?
All right. The place to go is called the Tarot Guild. I think it's thetarotguild.com. That is a group that teaches, that certifies, that has approved certified readers that you can talk to. There are courses. They do a radio show every week. You don't have to go and pay $1 bazillion, and you don't have to say, I'm not sure I'm psychic. Give it a shot. Give it a shot and see what you love.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like what's called the tarot. What was it? The Tarot Guild.
Guild.
The
GUILD. The Tarot Guild.
The tarotguild.com. And if you want to get into this or start in this, or you ever thought of getting into tarot reading, that would definitely be a resource to go. You got any other resource and your own website?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. CorbyMitline.com. There are about 150 articles on there on tarot and lots of other things. It's where you can schedule to have a reading with me. If you're going to work with books, the one that I started with that is still the best in the business is called Tarot for Yourself. And it's by Mary K. Greer, Greer, and she is a tarot grandmaster. It's top of the game. And
can you find that on Amazon or anywhere you sell books or?
Oh Lord, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So what's next for you as far as your line of work? What do you see in the future for yourself?
Well, actually, I'm writing a book. I have an apprentice. I swore I'd never take on a student. But now that I'm of elder age, I need to pass the stuff I know on to someone. And this is a 14-year-old close friend family. And she's going to be a better reader than I am by the time she's 21. She is incandescent. So she and I have looked and seen Teen Witch, Teen Psychic. There are no real books out there that speak to teenagers who want to learn the art, as I will call it, that are even partially written by a teenager. So she and I are going to write a book together.
Awesome.
And that would be book number 2, or
no? She's on book
number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be book number 4.
So where would somebody find your books? Where's a good source to go to find your books? Or stuff you do?
Oh, Amazon. I've got the one self-help book I've got is called Clean Out Your Life Closet. The 2 psychic ones are called The Psychic Yellow Brick Road, and You've Got the Magic Who Needs a Genie, and they're all on Amazon. Both paperback and Kindle. And
just to tell readers, the name is Corbie, Corbie, and then Mitleid. Yep. Is it Mitleid?
Tleid. It's a chosen name. It's my Elton John name. Corbie is because that's Gaelic for ravens, and they're my birds. And Mitleid is the German word for compassion, to always remind me why I do the work.
Okay. Okay. So like I said again, that's Corbie and Mitleid, Mitleid.
Yes, you got it.
Okay, and you can look her up on Amazon. You can get her book. She's working on book number 5, and all her books.
4.
Number 4.
She'll get to 5. She'll get to 5 in the future, I'm sure.
Am I jumping ahead?
You're looking into her future now.
You're predicting. You're seeing she'll write her 5th book, everybody.
She's working on book number 5. And when can we expect book number 4 to be out? Within the next year? Within the next couple of years?
Definitely the next couple of years. Ula and I should have it all fleshed out probably by February, and then we start the heavy work.
Right.
Okay. Like I said, you can look her up there, and you can also look her up on the website. Corbie, it was nice having you. It was very interesting.
So
I had a blast.
Thank you so much for joining us, dear.
You're welcome.
And we'll probably, I'm not sure, but I got to talk to Rach. She does all the scheduling, but we may have you back at the beginning of the year to look at what we can look for in the new year and predictions.
Oh, I'd love that.
Predictions for the new year of 2022.
Oh my goodness! Already.
Yeah, please God, I will see the end of the effing COVID.
Okay.
At least a better outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, you guys, we're wrapping it up. History is born in lines of hate. We're trying to build lines of love here. So, and trying to make you guys your best advocate. Until next time, if you loved this one, hit the like and please subscribe. Chris, we're heading out.
Thanks for joining us.